Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Today, we're taking a close look at something that affects literally every single one of us. But let's be real, it almost always gets pushed right to the very bottom of our to-do lists. We're going to explore how one specific healthcare provider, Pulse Clinics and Diagnostics, is actively bridging that massive gap between our incredibly crazy schedules and our essential healthcare needs. If you have ever felt like you just absolutely do not have the time to go get a routine checkup, well, this explainer is going to map out exactly how modern clinics are stepping up to solve that exact problem. You know, there's a saying, every day begins with 1,000 things, but we often forget the most important one. And wow, doesn't that just hit the nail on the head? It perfectly captures our modern reality. I mean, we wake up and almost immediately we're juggling work deadlines, we're handling family obligations, social responsibilities, taking care of everyone around us. It's just a constant, never-ending balancing act. But somewhere in the middle of all those school runs, the endless office meetings, and just trying to keep the household running, one absolutely critical piece of the puzzle just kind of quietly slips away. Yep, that missing piece is taking care of our own health. It's the classic problem, right? We pour from an empty cup to take care of everyone and everything else while completely ignoring our own basic maintenance. Our personal well-being just takes a total backseat. That right there is the core issue we're unpacking today. And honestly, it's exactly the problem that Pulse Clinics and Diagnostics was built from the ground up to address. Okay, so how do we actually fix this? How does this become a practical solution? Well, Pulse Clinics and Diagnostics essentially places itself directly in the path of the community, right in the heart of Marredpally, Secunderabad. By setting up shop in such a central location, their entire goal is to make high-quality healthcare and diagnostics genuinely accessible. Because let's face it, you shouldn't have to go on some massive, stressful trek all the way across the city just to get basic care. It needs to be right there, integrated into the neighborhood, right where people actually live and work. And when you walk through their doors, the sheer scale of what they offer is honestly incredible. We're talking about a massive, comprehensive array of services all under one single roof. The whole shebang. From your everyday routine blood tests and doctor consultations, all the way up to highly specialized investigations. They've got your heart health covered with ECG, TMT, and 2D echo. You need imaging? They've got ultrasound, X-rays, CT scans, MRI, and even PET scans. Plus PFT, EEG, and vaccinations. The convenience factor here is absolutely huge. You don't have to bounce around between 5 different facilities just to manage your family's healthcare. It's a complete end-to-end solution. Now, having all those amazing services is fantastic, but when we're talking about your health, accuracy is absolutely crucial. You need to know without a doubt that those results are dead on. Pulse Clinics and Diagnostics validate their credibility by making sure they don't just operate in a vacuum. Their diagnostic services are backed by highly reputed diagnostic partners, specifically Lucid Medical Diagnostics and Vijaya Diagnostic Center. By teaming up with these heavy hitters, they're essentially guaranteeing that the data your doctor gets is of the highest possible standard. So if we boil all of that down, it really comes to 3 core pillars: reliable diagnostics, accurate reports, and affordable prices. And what's so compelling about this combination is that, well, usually in healthcare, you're forced to just pick 2, right? If it's reliable and super accurate, it's probably going to be incredibly expensive. If it's affordable, maybe you kind of question the reliability. But their operational model is entirely focused on delivering all 3 of these things simultaneously, with 0 compromises. But wait, what if you're literally just too busy to even visit that convenient central location? Remember that crazy busy life problem we started with? Well, here is how seamless their workflow is to solve that. Step 1, you need a blood test. Step 2, you simply book a free home sample collection. Step 3, you get reliable results without ever stepping foot outside your door. They literally bring the convenience right to you. Healthcare shouldn't mean disrupting your entire day, and this home collection service is an absolute game changer for people tied up at work or taking care of kids at home. It really comes down to a choice between 2 completely different mindsets. On one hand, we have reactive care. That's basically waiting for a problem to become really serious before you actually do anything about it. On the other hand, we have proactive care, where you're actively keeping track of your health. Whether that means managing diabetes, keeping an eye on your blood pressure, checking your thyroid or cholesterol, or just making sure your kid is developing healthily. Pulse Clinics and Diagnostics operates firmly on the belief that staying ahead of the curve and focusing on prevention is always, always better than waiting for a medical crisis to hit. And honestly, that proactive vibe, it comes straight from their core philosophy. At Pulse, you aren't just a chart on a desk, a number in a system, or just another patient walking through a revolving door. They see a parent. They see a child, a family member. They see a person whose health genuinely matters to someone else. This incredibly empathetic, patient-centric approach is really what transforms a standard clinical visit into a supportive healthcare partnership. They treat every single individual like family. All of this builds up to their ultimate daily promise, which is pretty bold: premium services at affordable prices. It's the absolute foundation of everything we've talked about today. The idea that high-quality, premium healthcare shouldn't be some exclusive luxury that you have to pay top dollar for. That is the standard they are striving to deliver to the community every single day, no exceptions. Which brings us to this really grounding, emotional thought: because your health deserves the best care. It's a simple statement for sure, but man, is it powerful. It perfectly wraps up the entire narrative we've just walked through. From the massive array of advanced diagnostic machines to the top-tier partners to the home sample collections, it is all put into place for one singular reason: you deserve the best. Your health is their responsibility. So if you are ready to actually take that proactive step, here are all the details. Pulse Clinics and Diagnostics is located in West Marredpally, Secunderabad. You can reach out right now to book a test, schedule a doctor consultation, or go ahead and arrange that incredibly convenient free home sample collection. But I want to leave you with one quick thought as we wrap up this explainer. Think back to those 1,000 things you take care of every single day. When was the absolute last time you stopped, put everything else on pause, and actually took the time to prioritize your own preventative health? Isn't it about time you made yourself a priority? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, take care of yourselves.